If there's one adjective I want to describe my podcast, the experience is milky.
Yeah.
Is your phone, are you okay? Are you getting a Postmate?
What? No. Oh.
He's gone beep beep mode. It's the message she got says, I want to do a moon ritual.
But to be fair, I prompted this.
I mean, I gotta say, women, when I was a kid, the witch women were rare. And now in Los Angeles, if I meet a woman who doesn't believe that the moon has a great effect on her ability to get through the week, I'm like surprised.
Well, first of all, Los Angeles is a city that's built on cults. Like, if New York is built on money, LA is built on cults, only cults, but religious cults. And not all the, it's not like the ones where, like, you know, everyone has to drink Kool-Aid. It's also, that's so true of LA's history with cults. Yes.
Yeah.
For the last 100 years. But, like, even when you go to the Daily Planet, you're like, oh, I'm going to buy, like, a magazine and then a sage wand and some tarot cards and a spell kit. And why
you
is
never think that across the street.
Yes. And then that's one little newsstand, and then across the street is just the Church of Scientology. Just hanging out.
That's a celebrity center.
And a restaurant that you can visit.
Also, the cults of LA, you could say a lot that I found when I was really active in the entertainment industry, that the entertainment industry really seemed to be dominated by about 8 friend groups. And people in these friend groups all just gave each other work. And some of the people in the friend groups were A-list celebrities who were the center of the friend groups. And then the rest were the nucleus. But then they had a lot of people who were like execs and producers who they'd sort of picked up over the years. And so those were almost cults centered around a celebrity or a powerful figure in a way.
Only if when you went over for dinner, someone asked you to, like, buy a handbag their wife had made. Like, it requires, like, a purchase to enter. Like, that's, like, that little fee. So, like, you have to be willing to, like, buy, like, a candle set or, like, a crystal set.
You want to invest in this company?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's, I mean, LA likes, now we just do it on a micro scale. So it's sort of like you get a bag of glitter and, like, a calendar that tells you when the full moon is. And then you go out and you just, like, throw some shit under a tree. Yeah. And, like, all your dreams will come true.
I love that there's stores that sell witchcraft things now.
Yeah.
Like, just specifically, you take this rock,
but
and this rock, I love the idea of a girl. I think of women as, like, it's hard to picture a female caveman. It's much easier to picture a male caveman. But I think I can picture a female caveman most easily when I see a woman hold a crystal. Because she's just like, oh, rock have power. Rock make mood go happy.
But you have to understand, all of the things that these stores sell are things you can buy at Joann's Fabrics.
Yeah, or find in a public park.
But, well, no, because that has, like, pee on it.
Oh, okay, true.
But, like, the Joann Fabrics thing, but it has, like, much better graphics. Mm-hmm. Like, someone who went to design school, like, peeled the label off of, like, you know, the same candle that you'd buy at Ralph's and then put a more minimal approach to, like, this label on the candle. And
it sells for $200 more than you get at Ralph's.
Yeah, but it's also, like, I mean, it is magical because it's imbued with whatever saint sticker was on there originally. So you have that. The
lifespan of this candle, the journey of this candle.
Like Benji the dog.
From Catholicism to being a joke, Tupac Shakur tribute candle.
Yes.
No, I have a question for you, which is, do you believe, I know you're someone, people who are smart are not terrifically rare, and people who are clever are even more common than people who are smart. But it's rare you meet someone who's intelligent in sort of the more classical way outside of the classical world, where they have this incredibly deep array of knowledge about things that aren't comic books or movies or art of some kind, where they actually know things.
Things that aren't like a traded currency in society.
Yeah.
Because like a girl that likes comic books is like, that's a currency at this point.
I think it's done being currency. I think that currency is
people
done
figured it out
from inflation.
That they were, yes, exactly.
Because on TikTok, every girl is like, I'm a little anime hooker. You know, like,
Jesus Christ.
They are. That's what they do. Notice me, senpai. I'm an anime hooker. I live in Ohio. I have 25 million followers because I do a little dance where I go like this. Boop.
No one can see the dance. But I wanted you to elaborate on the thing that you said about how there are people who are smart, and then people who are clever, and that's even more common.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting, because cleverness is so valuable in our society, but it's a survival tool.
Yeah.
And that's why it has to be common. You have to be clever no matter where you are or what you do, if you want to be able to do it for more than 6 weeks at a time.
And there's so many different shapes of cleverness.
Yeah, I never thought of that though.
It's the most amorphous.
But it's such a compliment to give out. But it's sort of like, no, if you've held down anything, and like even if it's like I'm going to own like the most adorable like, you know, full service gas station in Arizona, you have to be clever because you're leaning into a thing.
Well, you have to be. I mean, in my life, I've seen it as you have to be clever or lucky. I know people.
That's true.
Well, some people, I wonder about their intelligence because it seems invisible. Because they when I talk to them, I'm like, yo, this is a bozo. And yet, damn,
Yeah.
they're doing good in life. And like they have like a cool boyfriend or girlfriend, and like they're like, they seem cool, but you're talking to the person, you're like searching around for the part of them.
You're like, how did it stick?
How did it stick?
Yeah. So, but is it that they were lucky or loved? Because if like someone handed you, if like another like really like smart person that was like your best friend was like, this is something that I cherish, I would like you to like coexist in the space with this other person, and that once you know that that person cherishes it, don't you then like just by like the contract between you and the person that is doing the cherishing, like want to treat it a little bit better?
I got lost during that. Go
Fuck it.
go one step back.
No, but it's like you say like someone's lucky, but
I think you're lucky to be loved. I think being loved, I think every part of your circumstances is luck.
But I guess what I'm saying is like when you're saying like, oh, they must be lucky because all these things are sticking to them. But what's really sticking to them is like people.
People.
And so that means that at some point they're like earning the affection of many people.
Well, do you think that's success in society, being able to be sticky to people? Because I know it's the stickiest people I know in Los Angeles are the old. I think we know a couple in our.
I
would
say that
they are not
being
people who
sticky and being loved are really different. And I think Los Angeles, because the rest of the world is not Los Angeles, there's almost no point in even talking about it. Because anyone listening to this, I would like to think is like someone who would just like assume that their friends and their family love them and they don't have to be sticky.
I have a
okay.
Actually, I have a question I'm going to pose to the nation through my podcast. Are you ready?
Yes.
And I want you to answer it, and the nation can answer it on their own. There was a type of friend when I was like big boy, Great Gatsby, look at me, Mr. Screenwriter, I'm a big asshole Max, and throwing all the big parties.
Bedazzled Max.
Bejeweled and becrowned, like the Antichrist. But
with products from Joann's Fabrics.
Oh my God, I was ridiculous looking. But listen to me. I look beautiful. Some of those looks are gorgeous. But so when I was that guy, I encountered this certain type of friend who I had never encountered before in my life. And I wondered if it was a product of the superficial and obnoxious way I was engaging with the world, or if it's an LA thing, or a film industry thing, or an arts thing. But do you remember certain people, even at my parties, where it's not even clear whose friend they are or why they're there, but they're at every party, and you don't know why because it's not clear who likes them or brought them to the dance?
I feel like most people would have described me that way.
What?
I was so amorphous.
But wait a minute. But
I was so amorphous.
What do you mean by amorphous?
Well, I was so private that I would and I never really liked an organism or a table that had more than 3 people at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like and I can't imagine, and I would never sit at a table where like I liked being disconnected, but knowing everybody individually. I don't think anybody could have pinpointed me and said like, oh, you're there, with the exception of 6 or 7 people.
Why you had arrived?
Yeah,
at the ball.
Exactly. 100%.
That's so crazy. I wonder if it's even weirder that I feel that way, because if that shows how disassociated I was, because I was the one throwing the parties.
I think so. I think you're the same though, where you knew everyone individually.
Yeah, well, that was what was nice about that friend group, is that everyone I'd met was like someone I'd like MLB picked.
And I would also say that there's value to having someone just be there as your individual friend.
Yep.
And if they didn't need to be friends with the 80,000 people there, that meant that they just had a life when they went home.
Well, okay, so during that time, people kept saying a lot of these people aren't your real friends. But like, when I think of you, I feel like you never went through a stage in your personality where you felt the need to have a giant big friend group, right?
No, not even when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, because that's how, now that I am an adult.
Yes.
Now
You've passed the veil.
It's 10 years later from then. Truly, 10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine wanting to throw like a big giant party. That seems stressful and too many people. I've become a small circle person. And is that just what happens in your 30s? We're talking, by the way, this podcast is about getting older.
We've just arrived at the thing that got me in front of this microphone, which was shit that happens to you when you turn 30 and no one tells you it's going to happen, but it's happening to everybody. Because it's like there's the generic crap that ended up on like TV shows, or it was like on an episode of Friends or whatever, or Sex and the City probably.
Yeah.
That is so... Yeah, sure, that happens to you, but a million other little things are happening to everybody else. Mm-hmm. And it's like puberty, where you like look in the mirror and you're like, is this just me? Am I like, why am I hyper aging?
Puberty is like a David Cronenberg movie.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So is turning 30.
Yeah.
Because everything shifts on you, and you've spent like 10 years in this space. And I do think that one of the things that shifts is the need for like a lot of noise. And it's just that you've spent all this time in yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's like, of course you can sit still with a few people and walk away just as fulfilled as if you had had 25 people there.
I'll go a step further. I also now read someone who's like that, needing the noise at my age. I read that as a sign of immaturity or a red flag. A lot of the shit that I recognize bad patterns from my 20s, behavioral patterns and shit, if I read them in people my age or older, I go like,
oh, you're still at that party.
Whoa, you never left that party. You're still at the Rainbow Room?
Yeah.
You never left the Rainbow Room? Man, I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship right now, man. Dude, you're 50? Hey, man.
Yeah.
You need to learn to communicate.
Yeah.
And now I have friends like deep in their 40s. You've always had older friends.
That's true, but I've also always been 40. I remember being in 3rd grade and this girl's dad came up to me. I'm not gonna say her name, but like her dad came up to me and it's like, you are a 40-year-old trapped in a 12-year-old's body. But I don't know if that makes me 3rd grade. I was 12.
I'm not gonna lie, but
he meant it as a compliment.
Stix has been 40 since I've known her.
Yeah, no.
Like a very put together, attractive 40-year-old woman. I've known her for about.
Oh, you don't understand. I used to wear little business suits.
Like a hot. No. Stix is a hot woman. You're a beautiful woman.
But when I was 12, I wouldn't wear like 12-year-old dresses. I would wear business suits.
Right.
Little teeny tiny like business suits.
What?
I thought they were pretty.
You're mythologizing yourself.
I'm dressed more like a 12-year-old in this moment.
We had a friend
than when I was 12.
You are dressed like a 12-year-old in this moment, but
yes.
you right now look like I just got back from Coachella. I went to Coachella.
No, I'm wearing a Flintstones t-shirt.
You're wearing a Flintstones t-shirt, a loose, flowy, medium skirt, really cute, like flowery shoes. Describe what I'm wearing now. And your Flintstones t-shirt is tied like a hoochie 90s girl.
Yeah, but it's over a dress, so you don't have to see my
It's all the Flintstones are sitting in a car, but the way it looks is that they're all sitting inside of her navel.
Yes, exactly. The designer is.
Describe now what I'm wearing.
You're wearing Palm Springs on it. That's been printed onto a tank top, and you're wearing swim trunks, and you're barefoot.
They're not swim trunks. They're my khaki shorts. They're my linen.
They are a bright. I want you all to remember. He just described them as khaki khaki
They're not,
shorts.
they're linen.
They're bright green linen drawstring shorts.
I'm sorry, I'd never seen my shorts before.
He's never seen khaki before.
Well, I never looked down before in my life because that's for losers.
Exactly.
Only losers look at their lower body. I'm always looking straight up at the sun.
Exactly.
That's what cool guys do. No, so tell them.
And you
so,
can't see anymore because of the sun.
No, I can't see anymore because I'm 36. Everything's falling out. I do CrossFit. I hear things creak and shift.
Everything pops. And
Everything
I just
pops.
popped my hip and I did like nothing.
Well, that's, Louis C.K.'s great bit where he talks about how he's getting older. He talks about how his knee hurts and he goes to the doctor and the doctor says, yeah, your knee just is bad now. Your knees. And Louis is like, so what do I do? The doctor's like, I don't know.
You just live with that.
Well, that's happened to me with coffee.
Yeah, you can't drink coffee. Okay, let's start the list.
Yeah.
Things that you can't do anymore, like coffee.
I can't do coffee.
You'd think that like, okay, you can have a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do that. That for some reason hangs on to the list longer than coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is basically like someone like set off a nuclear bomb inside your
Yeah.
heart.
Diarrhea anxiety juice.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
want
horrible.
your diarrhea anxiety juice? And I always see people drinking tons of coffee as like adults. I'm like, man, your butthole must be furious with you. Because when I get coffee, my like liver can't process it. It hurts when I pee. And I was going to the doctor like, hey, what's this about? And he's like, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck you.
I literally will get so like off of one real Starbucks drink. Like, and I'm not talking a double shot. I just mean like their regular coffee.
Okay.
I can't see straight.
Yeah, but slow down. Look at what your friend is holding.
You're holding a Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm like hypomanic publicly in a constant state of caffeine, high off bang energy.
Coffee is different,
It's
and
different.
I don't know why.
It is. It's worse.
It's yes.
It's just worse. It's the same jolt of energy, but with other stuff too that I don't want.
Yeah.
So the thing that first broached this,
Maybe it's a diuretic.
the thing that first broached this was that I noticed that women after a certain age, I'm gonna turn the lights on in here, but women after a certain age wear less makeup
Yes.
after 30, and I was wondering why that is.
Well,
Go.
So he basically pointed out, it's like, oh no, it's like I don't wear a lot of makeup. Other women my age don't wear a lot of makeup. It's a very pretty and attractive look. And I go,
I pointed it out in a respectful way, not in a.
yes, and like
You actually pointed it.
well, it was a compliment, and then I go, oh yeah, that's common because after a certain point, makeup, like I'm talking full coverage makeup, doesn't sit the same on your skin. There was this kind of blank look staring back at me, so I felt compelled to explain. It's like, your texture, or at least my texture, changed. I turned 30, and I can pour various serums and things on it at night, and for the next 24 hours, my skin will have the old texture of being 25. But basically, yeah, your skin texture changes, your nail texture, you get little ridges on your nails.
For sure.
Your hair starts to get like it gets little ridges on it, and then it's like you have to add all this extra goo to it to make it shiny.
I got some spots in weird areas of my body.
Yeah.
That part of your body has a spot on it now.
Yes, you get sunspots.
Sunspots. I use the eye cream now.
Oh,
I use eye cream because I wake up and I got big bags under my eyes and I look like Michael Keaton when he wakes up before he hits the makeup trailer.
No.
I look like Vince McMahon now. It's not good, man. I look at myself in the mirror and I see John Landis in a zombie movie. It's like,
No, you definitely look like John Landis circa like Muppets Take Manhattan.
yeah, but with a straight jaw, thank you.
Yes.
It's so funny. My dad has kind of a crooked jaw under that beard, but he talks out of the right side of his mouth. And what's bizarre is that even though I don't have a crooked jaw, in emulation of my father, I talk out of the right side of my mouth. Do you have anything like that? It's real weird. Now that you notice my mouth.
No, I've actually noticed that you do that.
Thank you.
And I've noticed it in your dad.
Yeah.
Very specifically, last time when I saw him, he had a little piece of pizza in his hand. And he was talking and eating.
He's always talking and eating. Talking and eating, the John Landis saga.
Yes.
Oh.
But, yeah, no, I mean, like, I move my hands the way my mother does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it right now. You don't know my mother, but if she were here.
Yeah.
And I've started to do things like, I'll make creative choices that she would make, meaning that this one time I went to see her, and I arrived and she was wearing a blouse that I had bought 3 weeks earlier. We had uncoordinated, walked into different stores in
And bought
different
the
parts of
same
the
blouse?
world, and we're like, this is lovely.
Oh no. Oh my
Which is a
god.
testament to, like, you know, like, she's still, like, with it. But yes, no, when you turn 30, everything on your body basically has the same texture of, like, watercolor paper.